Good morning. I'm Trez Burden, and I want to address something that was said by longtime Illinois Senator Dick Durbin. He said the president would borrow the power needed to pass amnesty, or not pass amnesty, but just to, as he's done so many times before, just make it law, even though it's not in the power of the executive branch to make law. But that flies right over people, and that's part of what scares me. The Senate, they put together an amnesty bill. It's passed, and for the past year or so, they've been trying to get the House to pass it. They've been trying to get the House leadership to sign on to it, and of course, all the blame falls on the Tea Party for scaring House leadership into not passing it. Or at least what Boehner's doing is I don't think he's going to touch it before the midterms. But that defeats the purpose, because what Obama wants is he wants an amnesty bill before the midterms, because again the purpose of all of these illegals coming here is to affect our elections. Make no mistake, it is not a humanitarian effort. By no means is it a humanitarian effort. The massive influx of these children from Central America, that is a plan to keep the liberals perpetually in power and to affect our electoral college. Because once they're here, by the thousands, they will be shipped to states where Democrats most need those votes. Because once the children are here, the plan from that point will be to send for their parents, because Hussein is already asking for $2 billion. He says that that's going to go towards controlling the crisis down there, but I'm pretty sure that's the money that will be used to ship these illegals where they're needed, where they're most needed. And they will flip a few red and purple states into the blue column. And that is the purpose of this whole concerted effort. And I mean, because just Saturday, Leatherface Pelosi, she goes down there to the southern border, and the children are so precious, and they tug at your heartstrings. They never play to your intelligence, because it could be maybe because they don't have any. But back to Durbin. What Durbin said yesterday was that was a very dangerous statement. The president will just borrow the power he needs. The president is not a lawmaker, and Congress is there to block things that, I mean, the Congress was elected just like he feels that he was elected, so that's a mandate. You get what you want once you're elected. Well, so are the House members. They were elected also. We put them there to stop you. And that's the way our Constitution is designed. Our Constitution is designed to stop the president from becoming a dictator. And at the point where the president can just say, hey, screw Congress. If Congress doesn't want what he wants, he can just say screw them and pass something anyway. At that point, he's a dictator. I mean, there's no two ways about it. Why even have a Congress? If he can just say screw Congress whenever they don't agree with him, at that point, he's a dictator. I mean, his pen, his phone, his executive orders, and practically no resistance from the so-called opposition party. Because make no mistake, the only resistance is coming from the Tea Party. And let me explain what the Tea Party is, because I know the whole big misconception. They're a new racist hate group, what have you. This is the garbage that's been floating around since 2009. The Tea Party, which the acronym T stands for taxed enough already. The Tea Party is just a network of hardworking Americans, small business owners, teachers, nurses, truckers, forklift drivers, dentists, what have you. I've met people from all kinds of professions at Tea Parties. I was at the Big 912 event, and what's the other one? The Back Rally 828. I've met all sorts of wonderful people from all walks of life. Just hardworking Americans who are tired of being screwed by their government. Tired of seeing our checks ripped apart by more and more taxes. Just, these people are afraid. The business owners, this government is going to tax them out of business. I mean, because the way new regulations and higher taxes affect business. I mean, I know if you've never run a business, I know it just like anything else, like a sport or anything. You look at it and it looks easy. It looks way easier than what it is, but it is not. It doesn't take much to make a small business fold. A new regulation can put a small business under. Yes, if you're forced to retrograde your equipment, or you can't afford to, sometimes you just can't afford to keep on. Once the government keeps piling on, because they'll dish out regulations, and if that'll take some people out, and if the ones who survive that, they'll dish out a new wave of regulations, and that's how it goes. They are working against you. Make no mistake. Your government is working against you. And the sooner you realize that, you can join the fight. And yes, that will make you a Tea Party member. It's not there's no secret handshake, and nothing like that. It's not an established political party, but you need to join the fight. It is not what the media tells you it is. It's not. There's nothing racial about it. There's no hate there. All the Tea Party is resistance to tyrannical government, and that is best placed in the Republican Party, where conservatives pretty much don't have a voice anymore. But the Tea Party is the only thing out there providing any resistance. Because you know that because the president was just whining about the Tea Party yesterday in the Rose Garden during his 20-minute rant, whatever you want to call it. And Boehner wants to pass it. The Tea Party stopping him, and he's scared of the Tea Party. Boehner is scared of his own shadow. The only thing he isn't scared of is a glass of scotch. But the president's been usurping power for the last 6 years, and I guess he's becoming a nicer person because this time he's just going to borrow it, which means he's going to give it back. I guess he can hand Boehner the purse strings back, and he can hand McConnell his nuts back, because all the Republican leadership, the cards that we hold, because our Constitution is designed for the minority party to still be relevant. You can't just run. You're still relevant even when you're in the minority. They've pretty much all the cards we were holding, and which is the power of the purse, because we have the House, and which Newt Gingrich in the 90s he used so effectively. He used the power of the purse to control a Democrat president, and yes, there were very positive effects from that. Boehner is no Gingrich. He's not even half of what Gingrich is or was. And they've pretty much promised him that they won't shut down the government. They've given him blank checks, all these continuing resolutions, no budget. They pretty much, that was just some roundabout way of giving the president the power of the purse instead of the House where it belongs. With the abuse of these executive orders, they pretty much handed him their lawmaking power. They've handed him everything already. What I'm trying to figure out is, I mean, even though the stupidity and I don't know, that cavalier statement made by Turbin yesterday, the president will borrow the power he needs. What I'm trying to figure out is what's there to borrow. Over the past 6 years, the other two houses, they've pretty much handed the executive branch all of their powers. I don't even know what's left for him to borrow. Because I don't know at this point. I mean, the way Obama's been getting everything he wants. I mean, the way he whines, you would think that he's been stopped at every turn, but the man's never been stopped. I don't know what there is to still whine about, but hey, that's who he is. A whiny community organizer who happens to be president and wants to be dictator. But at the point where the other houses, the Senate, Well, Reid runs the Senate, and he wants everything Obama wants anyway. But at the point where even the Republican House is not going to resist him, and if they dare resist him because of the evil Tea Party is holding Boehner hostage, he's going to circumvent them anyway. He will illegally circumvent them anyway. At that point, he is a dictator. He's a dictator. Why have a Congress at that point? If whenever they don't agree with him, which they have the power to stop him, they hardly ever use it, but the couple of times they did use their power, he threatens to circumvent them anyway, and even liberals shouldn't be cheering this. That is a problem. When a president is just doing whatever the hell he wants to, that's a problem. Even I know the way some people think left and right, or they think Republican, Democrat. Even if it's your guy, it's a problem when the executive branch just is bold enough to get on TV and tell you that they're just going to do whatever the hell they want to. And you have senators saying that he's going to borrow the power. That's not anywhere in the Constitution where he can borrow power. I tell you what, when I go to work today, I'm going to borrow my boss's power. I'm going to borrow his pen. And I'm going to write myself a huge bonus check. Oh, don't worry, I'll give it back. I'm just borrowing the power. I'm just borrowing his pen. I mean, I'll give it back after I write the bonus. We'll see how well that goes over. Hey, you should try it. When you go to work, just pick the most powerful person, borrow their power, hook yourself up, and then give the power back. Yeah, right. Sounds ridiculous. That's because it is ridiculous. I mean, the things our government pull off, it upsets me to no end. But here's the part I find scary. When people don't get it, when you just have millions of Americans who refuse to see what is right in front of them. That is the part that scares me, because I don't know. I wonder, are there more of them than there are of us who do get it and who knows that this is a problem and needs to stop? And again, even if it's your guy, this is dangerous. You don't want a president. I don't want a Republican president doing whatever he wants. Okay, fine. If he wants to lower my taxes or make a tax holiday, no. That's dangerous from either party. Even if it's your guy, that is a dangerous precedent. You don't want that happening. America is not designed to have a dictator. Our Constitution is designed to not fast track big ideas. So the country won't change just on the whim of a particular person or a particular mood of the country at the time. Our Constitution is designed to stop that. The Senate, the deliberate body of Congress, things are supposed to take long in the Senate. And then now you have it where, when he comes up with a big idea, it's supposed to be passed in less than a week. No, that's not the way it's designed. Things passing before anybody gets a chance to see it. And, the classic line from Pelosi, we got to pass it for you to find out what's in it. I mean, and this amnesty bill, who knows what's in it? Because they've been trying real hard to get that passed. I mean, from the failed attempt in 2007 to now, they've had their eyes on amnesty, and amnesty is about power. That's all it's about. It's about overwhelming your vote, and it's about power. If they get amnesty, if they get what they want on this, your vote really won't matter. And you will see dictatorship in America. You're looking at it now. You just don't recognize it, but they get bolder and bolder by the day. And we as Americans better wake up to it, because our country is changing, and we won't behave like they want. So they're importing new people They will educate the Common Core education, the importing people who don't have the attachments to, who in no way are attached to what traditional American values are. In a generation or so, you are going to have a new country, especially as the old heads start dying off. You will have a new America, one big, massive welfare state. And we need to stop it right now, because this is the country of freedom. I'm Trez Burden. Hit me up at Tresidential on Twitter. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for your time.